I'd like to share two quick stories about Fred Flores. My name is Dan Banks. I'm Fred's brother-in-law. My wife, Norma, is Yolanda's sister. And Yolanda, Fred, Norma, and I took a trip in 2007. We went all the way up to the Quilt Museum in Paducah, Kentucky, and then on up to Ohio and Virginia, and then came back. So we took a long trip. But on the way up, we stopped in Beaver Dam, Kentucky at an antique store, and the ladies got off and they were shopping, and so I went in with them, and Fred just wasn't in the mood to shop, and so he stayed in the car. Well, they bought a couple of quilts, and just as we were about to come back to the car, Yolanda spotted a table that she liked, and the lady in the antique store made her a really good offer and offered for us to take the table out to the car to see if it would fit. So the lady stayed there shopping, and I carried the table out to the car. And you might imagine how packed we were with four of us on a trip like that in an Impala. And we didn't have room for anything. And but I was going to give it a try anyway. But as I approached the car, Fred saw me coming, and he said, "What's that?" And I said, "Well, Yolanda," and that was all I got out of my mouth. And Fred said, "Oh, hell no." So she didn't get the table. And one other quick story. Down at the ranch, we were at the dip vat on Highway 83, close to the ranch. It was Fred and myself, and then Yolanda and Norma's brothers, Oscar and George. And we had some cattle there being dipped, and my wife and Yolanda drove up while we were there, and one of the workers saw them drive up, and he said in Spanish, who are those old ladies? And Fred, instead of saying those are our wives, he said they're George and Oscar's sisters. He didn't even mention they were their wives. So needless to say, he got in a little trouble over that. So anyway, those are two stories that come to mind about Fred. We're going to miss him.